just so they have to rock and roll.
Okay, at this time, the school board meeting is called to order. I would like to welcome you tonight to the July the 18th board meeting. If everyone would please stand at this moment for a moment of silence and then the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Couldn't feel the arm. I gotta fix this shit on the floor. You wouldn't want to try to get me up.
Again, I would like to welcome each of you to tonight's meeting. The school board meeting is officially called to order. The school board meeting is an advertised meeting held in the public, not a public meeting. We have an established advertised agenda that will be followed. Anyone wishing to address the school board may do so during the public input section of the meeting. You will have 3 minutes to address the board. The sign-in sheet to speak during public input is on the table to the left as you enter the boardroom. Please sign in if you wish to speak. Our school board minutes are being recorded this evening by Ms. Bishop, the confidential secretary to the board and secretary to the superintendent. Board members present are Ms. Williamson, Mr. Carroll, Ms. Gibson, Ms. Bell, and myself, Bart Alford. Our school board attorney, Mr. Reeves, is present, and the superintendent is present, Ms. Joseph. At this time, the meeting is called to order. Thank you for attending tonight. Is anyone on the agenda? Nobody? Okay, thank you. There's no amendments to the agenda. There's no comments from the public. Under the consent items, you have the minutes from July the 5th meeting, 2022. Excuse me. 4.2, we have, sorry, I was looking at the wrong thing here. Yeah, thank you. 4.1 would be the minutes from July the 5th meeting. 4.2 is the contract with Cezale's Autism Services. $100 an hour up to $36,000 per year. It's for July the 1st, 2022 through June the 30th, 2023. One thing that in your motion, please include that there's a 30-day exit to the contract from both sides, could exit within 30 days of notice. 4.3 is a contract with the Madison County Sheriff's Office for school resource officers. There will be 6 employed deputy sheriffs, one at Greenville, Lee, Pinetta, Madison County Central, Madison County High School, and one for all schools for a total of $331,500. It will be billed on a 12-month cycle of $27,625 a month. The school guardians are employees who volunteer and are appointed by the sheriff. And our guardians, will be at James Madison, Madison County Creative Arts, Waypoint, and within the Madison County School District. 4.4 is the contract with Kim Aqua for water treatment at Madison County Central School. It's for a total of $2,577. Over a 12-month period will be $214.75. It's for the cooling tower and hot and chill closed loops within the air. 4.5 is a joint use agreement with Boys to Kings Incorporated. It's for July the 29th, 2022 to Orlando, Florida. The estimated cost is $740. 4.6 is the Title II Part A amendment for a total of $168,456.92. The current approved budget is $110,878, and there's a roll forward amount of $57,578.92, which equal the grand total of $168,456.92. And that's being kept up with our Title I department and Ms. Howard. 4.7 is a contract with Allied Instructional Services. It's for $68 an hour. Braille transcription is $55 an hour if we were to have a student who was visually impaired that would need those services. 4.8 is a contract with Leon County for inter-county transfer of exceptional education students. The three schools that are mentioned that could be of being transported to is a special day school for pre-K through 12, Gretchen Everhart. A school for the deaf and hard of hearing 6 through 8 is Swift Creek. Deaf and hard of hearing for 9 through 12 is Lincoln. Okay, those are the items for consent items. If you would please remember in the 4.2 in your motion to make that there is a 30-day out clause for both the contractor and for us. We could terminate it at 30-day notice. Is there a motion to approve the consent?
I'll move to approve the consent items, making a note of the contract with Gonzalez Autism Services. There's an availability of being out in 30 days, 30 days notice.
That we're going to add that provision to it.
The what?
We're going to add that provision.
We're
to
adding
it.
that to it, right. Mhm.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, it's been properly moved by Ms. Gibson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Williamson. Is there any discussion?
I have one question. On the contract with Leon County for deaf and hard of hearing, there's no elementary grades for deaf and hard of hearing?
It wasn't listed, Ms. Williamson, and I may be speaking out of term, but I had heard in my work with a student that had those needs that that's not offered anymore at the elementary level there. So I don't know. I assume at the middle, and I just heard it through a parent saying that there wasn't a service there for elementary.
Okay.
But any other questions? It's been properly moved by Ms. Gibson, seconded by Ms. Williamson. If there's no more discussion, all those in favor, show a hand, please. 5-0, Ms. Bishop, for approval of the consent items. Okay, 5.0 is items for individual consideration. The first item is staff travel. The first travel is to the FADS Superintendent Conference in Orlando, September the 27th through the 30th, 2022. Ms. Joseph will go. It's approximately $750. The second conference is the Florida Partnership Leadership Training in Orlando, Florida, July the 27th through the 28th, 2022. Barbara Thomas will be attending. The cost is $0. It's through the Florida Partnership. Okay, is there a motion for the staff travel?
I move to approve the staff travel request.
Okay, it's been properly moved by Mr. Carroll. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Bell. Is there any discussion concerning it?
Yes, I've had something in my mind about this. We've mentioned this before, but we really didn't seem to follow through on it. When someone is sent someplace, for training or something, it would be nice if they would just do a very short presentation to the board of what happened or what transpired or something that really made a difference with them. I'd be interested in hearing what goes on.
Okay.
I may be the only one, but I'm.
No,
We've talked about it before.
We've said this before. And
Yeah.
it's just, I don't know that the follow-through has been.
Yeah, we've mentioned it more than once, and I just think it would be nice to get a little feedback.
And I'm sure that this, what she's going to, is going to be interesting.
That's a conference put on by the college board, and what they do, they pay for the 9th graders and 11th graders to do that PSAT, or they do 11th grade SAT school day. They pay for those courses. The state pays for the 10th graders to take the SAT, PSAT, but this organization, but the rationale behind that, there is a continuity of years for them to do comparison and see growth or something to work toward as they take their SAT.
Thank you.
Okay. The next item is personnel items, Mr. Killingsworth.
Oh, you didn't move.
Sorry, we didn't vote. Okay, it's been properly moved by Mr. Carroll, seconded by Ms. Bell. We've had discussion. All those in favor, show of hand, please. 5-0, Ms. Bishop, for approval of the travel. Mr. Killingsworth, personnel.
Yes, sir. This evening I have some instructional recommendations, non-instructional recommendations, and a few, unfortunately, resignations. However, before we get started on the instructional recommendations, I ask that you will strike through or pull the next to the last one on the bottom, Barry, last name Barry. Please pull that one. Okay, would y'all like to do the instructional and then do one of them, then do the rest as far as instructional?
We could do
We
that.
will do,
Or however you so
the
desire.
first vote will be, Mr. Carroll's not going to be able to vote on Mr. Carroll. So we will do, the first vote will be
Everyone but him.
everyone but him, and Mr. Carroll can vote. And then the second vote will be Mr. Carroll, and he will abstain from voting at that time.
The first vote is for everybody.
Everyone.
Everyone but him.
And the, we need to remove the,
Barry,
yeah.
please.
Okay, are there any questions concerning the personnel? No questions? Okay, is there a motion to approve all the instructional excluding Prince Berry
And Jeremy Carroll.
and Jeremy Carroll?
I move to approve all the instructional, with the exception of pulling Jeremy Carroll and Prance Berry.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved by Ms. Gibson, seconded by Ms. Bell. Okay, any discussion? If there's none, all those in favor, show of hand, please. 5-0, Ms. Bishop. Okay, the next one, is there a motion to approve the hiring of Jeremy Carroll at Madison County High School?
I'll make the motion to hire Mr. Jeremy Carroll.
It's been properly moved by Ms. Williamson,
Second.
second by Ms. Bell.
And Mr. Chairman. And
Yes, sir.
Mr. Carroll, you have to announce the conflict, so he's your, what is he?
He's my son, so I won't be able to vote.
Okay. And then, Mr. Carroll, you have to fill out a form that gets filed with the Supervisor of Elections Office. And,
Okay.
So you need to, Ms. Becky can
Okay.
help you with that.
All right, good deal.
Okay, it's been properly moved by Ms. Williamson, seconded by Ms. Bell. If there's any further discussion, all those in favor, show of hand, please. 4-0, Ms. Bishop, for approval of Mr. Carroll for Madison County High School. Mr. Jeremy Carroll for Madison County High School. Okay.
Next, we have one recommendation for non-instructional. And you want to go ahead and do the non-recs or resignations
Yeah, we can do,
together?
the next one, is there a motion to approve the non-instructional and the employee resignation, termination, retirements?
I move to approve the non-instructional employee recommendations and the employee resignation / termination / retirement.
Okay, it's been properly moved by Ms. Gibson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Bell. Any discussion? There's no discussion. It's been properly moved by Ms. Gibson, seconded by Ms. Bell. All those in favor, show of hand, please. 5-0, Ms. Bishop, for approval.
And the last piece that I have is if I could have your approval for the substitute list. That one, as you know,
I
we
am
are taking.
impressed with the number of subs.
Well, what we're doing is taking back over from Kelly Services, and that was was part of those that we've had within our district and stuff. So this is who I'm bringing before you for us
I
to
hope
get
this all
started.
works out.
Okay, is there a motion to approve the substitute list?
I made the motion to approve the substitute list.
It's been properly moved by Ms. Bell for approval of the substitute list. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Williamson. Any discussion? If there's no discussion, all those in favor, show of hand, please. 5-0, Ms. Bishop, for approval of the substitute list.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Kenworthy.
Okay, 5.3 is the purchase of a lawnmower. The bid goes to Green Outdoor and More for $10,565.88. It's a Pro Turn. It's a 2022 Gravely Pro Turn 272, 31 horsepower, 72-inch mower. And it was for $10,565.88. It was the cheapest bid of the three that was bid out.
Is that, Mr. Chairman, is that
That's
staff's
the-
recommendation?
Yes, that's the recommend that we purchase the one from Green's Outdoor and More.
Is this paid for from what fund, Ms. Josie?
Ms. Rainey, what fund are we paying for the lawnmower out of?
Coming out of LCIF,
Capital outlay. This is a lawnmower for Madison County Central. There's more died.
Oh, dear.
These bids are for the exact same mower?
That doesn't look like it.
We put out the specs that we want, so I cannot tell you whether it's the exact same mower, but these are the specs, and this is what they put out the specs and give to everybody, said this is the kind of mower we have, and this is the prices they gave us back.
Okay, Kawasaki.
All right, is there any other questions?
Mr. Ginn recommended this one?
Yes, this is submitted by Mr. Ginn.
Much difference.
Is there a motion to approve the purchase of the lawnmower?
I made the motion to approve the purchase of the lawnmower.
It's been properly moved by Ms. Bell. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Gibson. Any further discussion? If there's none, all those in favor, show of hand, please. 5-0, Ms. Bishop, for approval. 5.4 is dress code. Mr. Williams.
Yes, sir, and madam. What you should have before you is a copy of the proposed changes of the dress code for the code of conduct. Pass that up.
We got it on board, Dr.
Okay. All right, so the proposed changes, we're running a little bit behind with the completing the code of conduct due to the changes that we're having to make with the new MTSS system that has to be integrated within. But we wanted to get the dress code out so the parents can have something to go school shopping with. So what you see in red are the proposed changes that we want to take out, and what's in green are the changes that we want to put in. Are there any questions or confusion with the proposed changes? And that.
It basically says the same thing, only different words.
Pretty much. And we took out the uniform code for the bridge because they're going to go by the same code
Yeah.
as the county. Caps are the only thing pretty much that were taken out, but they can still wear caps at PE if they're outside on the rec area, but not in the school area.
Has there been much of a problem with the dress code? I mean, the students following the dress code?
There was some confusion with the dress code policy and the jeans that the girls were buying. It's hard to find jeans without rips and tears in them. So our concession to that was if there's a tear above the knee, you have to have something up underneath the jeans, some leggings or some tights or something so that there's no skin showing above that. Other than that, typical guy sag every now and then. Other than that, I don't think there was a big issue with that.
Thank you.
And I believe I read somewhere in there that it's the principal's job to make sure that the dress code is followed. Is that right?
Yeah, it's their discretion.
Or his designate, or
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
or
interpreting.
technique, yeah.
The
It's their
students.
discretion. Basically, those are come down to probably things like skirt length. You need a female principal to a female designee to see if a skirt really is short enough or long enough. It should come down to the mid-thigh or lower. But sometimes you have to bring in a female designee to clarify.
key thing is just be consistent.
That's it.
Yeah, that's the key thing, be consistent.
Right.
Okay, are there any other questions or comments concerning the dress code? If not, is there a motion to approve the dress code?
I made the motion to approve the dress code.
It's been properly moved by Ms. Bell. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Williamson. Any further discussion? If there's none, all those in favor, show of hand, please. 5-0, Ms. Bishop, for approval of the dress code. Thank you, Ms. Williams. Okay, 5.5 is the trim, the truth in millage. Ms. Rainick? Good evening.
I was hoping to come to you with a proposed budget, the millage rate and everything today, but
It wasn't until late this afternoon that we did get a call from the department with preliminary figures. So we will have to do the special meeting on Thursday. And it should only be a 1 or 2 item thing where we propose it. But it's looking like the taxable value is going to be just over $1 billion, $1.03 billion. It is looking like the rate is going to be somewhere between around 3.2% millage rate, which is lower than it was last year. But because the property values have gone up so much, it still is going to result in a tax increase. So we're sorting all of the budgetary things out right now. But we should be back in front of you on Thursday at 5 o'clock with that agenda item.
Okay. So at 5 o'clock, we will have our special meeting to go over the trim, and there may be some personnel issues that we will vote on at that time.
Mr. Apple, I'm not gonna be able to be there on
That's
Thursday.
okay. As long as we have a quorum, that's fine. Ms. Gibson, will you be able to be here?
Yes, I'll be here.
Ms. Williamson?
Yes.
Mr. Carroll?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that would be fine. So Thursday at
Thursday at
5,
5.
we will meet again.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Ms. Raynack. Okay, 5.6 is the administrative salary schedule for the administrators. Ms. Joseph?
Okay, Mr. Chairperson, the administrative salary, your administrators are annual employees and their salaries have to be approved every year. And so it's just that time of thing again.
Looks like that, that's
You
good.
didn't sign in.
No, that's the public side.
Oh, can you put that on the public site, Miss, she'll put it in.
Okay.
Okay, are there any questions concerning and who these annual administrators would be your director of finance, director of curriculum, director of human resource. These are all within the same level: Madison County High School principal, Madison County Central School principal. Level 3 would be the coordinator of ESC and student services, coordinator of assessment, accountability, coordinator of federal projects, coordinator of safe schools, coordinator of technology, all elementary school principals. That would be your outline schools would be on this level. All assistant principals at the high school and central school would be on this level. The bridge administrator would be on this level, that's level 3. Level 4 is the supervisor of food service, supervisor of maintenance, supervisor of transportation, supervisor of migrant program truancy.
If you would move to look at the very last statement on your salary schedule, one big difference that we made, in the past, we've had one principal at Madison County Central School. Okay, we've got two, and so to compensate that, we do know we've got two principals, but they're in smaller groups. And so to compensate that, I think I've got it, they're gonna be at the AP level, but they're gonna get a $3,000 each bonus for being principal. Are you following me what I'm saying? Okay, so we're not paying full principal price for those persons.
I hear what you're saying, and I just saw that. Are we sure that that's equitable enough to, for what they're, okay, I don't want to, because that's a big undertaking there. And I realize that they're over, I don't want them to feel that we're taking advantage of them.
Okay.
Well, I'd like to know how many students there will be in each group there, the elementary, let's say.
Well, if you say, okay, let's say grossly there's 800 in the school.
Right, but
There
I
may be
mean,
500 at the elementary, 3 at the middle.
is that 350?
Right at 600, a little less than 600 on
Okay,
And
thank
so the
you.
elementary side has 2 APs, and
Yes.
so, I mean, if you put that in, it's just the first
Okay.
sound of it, it's sort of,
They will, yeah.
you sort of sit back and, but
And
if
they've got the
if
APs.
you
so-
take it's the APs and
Yeah.
the less
Yeah.
students, I just don't want them to
This is-
feel like because that is a big undertaking, even with the help.
Yeah.
Big undertaking, because they will be, I mean, they'll be having to try to turn the school around.
Yeah, and I'd like to add something. Now, we agreed to this. I mean, initially, this school had 1,700 students with one principal. This is when it opened up. And of course, now it's dwindled, we know that, and we're going to have 2 principals. But I mean, I sort of think of this as kind of like to see how it goes. You know, in other words, we are putting forth more money, and we're not sure how everything's going to turn out. But it's kind of just, it's another way of just seeing what could happen with this. It's a possibility of improving things, let's put it that way.
It's a way to try to
So
turn it around.
in other words, it's not set in stone because we'll see what happens.
It would be set in stone for the year, though, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Oh, no, for the,
Yes.
well, no, for the year, of course, yeah.
Okay, are there any other questions concerning and administrative would also include our confidential employees also. The annual would be confidential employees. Are there any other questions or comments concerning the administrative salary schedule? If there's none, is there a motion to accept the administrative salary schedule?
I move to accept the administrative salary schedule.
It's been properly moved by Ms. Gibson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Williamson. Any further discussion? If there's not, all those in favor, show of hand, please. 5-0, Ms. Bishop, for approval of the administrative salary schedule. Okay, 5.7 is a contract with the KEV group. And this is concerning school accounting and online payment system, where schools would be able to have parents and whomever pay them online for something they're purchasing or fundraising, what have you. A good way to sort of eliminate things that could happen or affect the school in some way. The one thing concerning this contract, as Mr. Reeves said about our previous contract, we need to make the motion with the stipulation that we could end the contract at a 30-day notice, or they could end it.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can, if you look at the term, this is actually a 3-year contract, so we definitely need to be able to get out of it. It's a 3-year contract, and then it automatically renews if we don't give them 60 days notice. So we need to have a way to get out of it if we want to.
Basically, what we will do, the school system will have the capacity to accept electronic payments now. That's what this is about.
Right.
And it will feed directly into our accounting, each school's accounting system.
Okay, now let me ask you something.
ma'am.
The only, for instance, I'm thinking of the high school.
Yes.
For instance, like when they're getting ready for graduation, you mean like the parents can pay for the gowns via that way?
Yes.
Because I can't, I'm trying to think of ways
Or any
parents.
fundraising, where we're having to take checks.
You
So,
won't have to
okay,
take
just
the-
anything-
You would eliminate that
Yeah.
where you would do debit card or credit card and not having to have the possibility of something happening to the checks or bad checks and.
Right, okay. I had to think about that, about what, how
Yeah,
would we actually?
We would, even at your elementary schools would take checks with, I mean, for
Right.
different
I
reasons.
got you. Mhm.
So it'll benefit us to have this.
Well, it would cut out any type of,
We will still be able to receive cash, but hopefully we will cut down on the amount of cash that we receive.
and any, I mean, you would cut down on the transition of
Yes.
you having a check and something could happen in that, from the check to the bank.
Well, I like that idea,
Deposited every
Right.
day.
And
Right.
physically having to take it to the bank.
Yes.
yes.
Because often we're written up in our annual audit for bookkeepers keeping money at the school and not, I mean, we have board policy that within, it used to be within a day, but I think it may be a little bit longer. When he comes to do the exit this year, hopefully we won't have any, but where money has stayed at a school and they'll be written up over it
Right.
for safety issues. Okay, is there a motion to approve the contract with the KEV Group with the exception that it will be a 30-day out within the contract?
I move to approve the contract with the KEV Group with the exception of will we have the 30-day out, if necessary.
Okay, it's been properly moved by Ms. Gibson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Bell. Any discussion?
I'm thinking of a few instances that we've had in the past where checks were given for maybe a fundraiser, but they didn't go exactly where they should have gone. So this would eliminate that problem.
Yes.
Yes.
That's, I just, I'm just doing some brainstorming here. Okay, that's going to be good.
Okay, it's been properly moved by Ms. Gibson, seconded by Ms. Bell. All those in favor, show a hand for approval of the contract with the KEV Group. 5-0, Ms. Bishop, for approval. 5.8 was it's from the Unisig incentive payments through Title I with Ms. Howard. As continued support for the administration through the implementation and sustaining MCHS during the turnaround year, the principal and assistant principal were awarded performance incentive for their work through the Department of Education Unified School Improvement Unisig Strategic Initiative Grant. You see the principal and the assistant principal, the money that they're going to receive through the Unisig. Below is the timeline for processing the expenditures under the grant. The last day for incurring expenditures and issuing a purchase order is 8/31/2022. Date that all obligations are to be liquidated and final disbursement reported submitted 10/20/2022. The last date for receipt of the proposed budget and program amendments is 7/31/2022. So we need a motion, if you will, to approve paying these administrators this money from the Unisig grant.
I move to approve the Unisig incentive payments.
Okay, it's been properly moved by Ms. Gibson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Carroll. Any discussion? If there's no discussion, all those in favor, show a hand, please. 5-0, Ms. Bishop, for approval of the Unisig incentive payment. Okay, that concludes the items under individual consideration. Superintendent items, Ms. Joseph. She has quite a few things at our station here, so.
I've got quite a few things at your station, and I know I didn't give it to you ahead of time, but I'm going to give you time to take it home and read it, and then if you have any questions, we'll talk about it. you, at the last meeting, you asked for several things, and I tried to gather that for you. The sheet with the list of names, Miss Carroll, she asked for the list of teachers. This is on, as of last Thursday. And if you see, we're still hiring teachers. These are the teachers that we have placed at the various schools.
I knew that was subject to change.
Okay. On the Madison County Central School middle side, midway down, that first name in red, Darren Neal, you can remove his name from the list. But right now, these are the teachers, and that's what we're doing about this. Another thing you had talked about, putting in a plan where we don't have a teacher, that we will not have a warm teacher, and we are working on that. And so we will get that back to you. We will have a person in front of the students, whether it be a teacher or someone, the first day of school. It will not be a substitute. Okay, another thing Mr. Alford asked for is to look at the assessment data, the results of the assessment data with trend data. There's a lot of pages, and it's a lot for me to go through right now, but I'm going to give it to you. Hopefully, when the principals come and make their presentation on August 1st, they can answer some questions, and they may be able to clarify some things that you have about this. Another thing I had talked with Ms. Gibson about, you look at all these grades, and we talk about school grades, but what do they mean? How do they derive them? And so I'm giving you this school grade guide for calculating school grade, district grades, and the federal percent of point index. And so if you have a question of where these grades come from or how do they do these grades, it's in here. It may help you understand some of these grades in here. Now, one other thing that you have at your place is the strategic plan. Last year, we revisited our strategic plan. We put that together. We have goals in there. And I know the board is talking about, let's put together some goals for the district. That is what we have if you want to build upon that or you want to come up with some new goals. But we, as a leadership team, administrative team, we look at that every year. We revisit that, see how well are we doing. Do we need to change our focus, or do we need to readdress some of these things? But that is a strategic plan. And tonight, I'm kind of rushed, so I really don't have time to go through that. But hopefully, at another meeting, we can review the strategic plan, where we are with it.
Yeah, that sounds good, and I do appreciate the data from Ms. Thomas concerning the trend data for the district. I would encourage all board members to look at it, and the next meeting on the 1st, that would be a good time if you have questions as the principals are presenting and saying what they're going to do to improve it. If you have any questions concerning different things that you see in the data, that would be a great time to ask them. But it's a lot of compare and contrast.
I'm going to ask you to bring these documents back with you to our next board meeting on August 1st, because we may reference some things in here.
Right. I always like to keep in mind that there's a lot of people listening to these board meetings. I get input from them.
Yes.
And sometimes, if you're not involved with education on a day-to-day basis, it's like this thing right here, that's going to be Greek to a lot of people.
Okay.
And I just thought, I like the way, I'm going to go back to Miss Rose, the way she explains things, very PowerPoint. We've had different things on the PowerPoint. It's very simple, very easy to understand. And it just would be nice if maybe we could have something like that in regard to the school grades.
Okay, this is what we got this from the site. This is how they explain it to
Yeah,
us.
I've seen that.
They should have a one-pager in here.
A one-pager would be good.
I went to a conference through PACE a few days ago, and the speaker presenting there did a great job in somewhat breaking this down in that we hear the word proficiency. We've heard it a lot used in the past, and now they're going to grade level, students on grade level. The other thing that was talked about, to be proficient, we assume 3, 4, and 5. Well, of course, if you are a 3, you're a 3, but proficiency really doesn't start until level 4. So that's a little bit misleading sometimes to parents, but the way they were starting to like try to put it out there that a 3, you could look at a 3 as like a C, a 4 is like a B, a 5 is like an A. And the concern that I'm having is, like, we have a lot of smart kids, and if you look at the data, I feel we should have more kids at the 4 and 5 who are your kids taking the honors classes. And sometimes I think we get hung up in parents and even students that, oh, we're trying to get a 3, when in reality, we should be trying to get a 4 or 5. And that's just a mindset that we as a district need to do a better job in trying to explain to the kids that, especially if you have high achievers who are on the A honor roll, they should be shooting for a 5. But that was a nice way that they broke it down and give the kids, I know with the data review and the data chats, there's a lot of ownership that's now being placed with the kids of knowing what their scores are, what they need to move to the next level, and a great time to explain to them just what it's standing for. And unfortunately, if students don't make the 3 in reading and they don't pass the EOC in Algebra 1, then unless they're ESC and have an alternate way to get a diploma, then they're not going to get a regular diploma. That's the unfortunate part of it. I know with the new testing we're doing with the progress monitoring, I assume that would still stay, but we just need to try to explain it better to the kids and the parents who gets. And I agree, a lot of parents, I mean, it's almost like they realize that when they start having these data chats at the high school level, the graduation coach calls the senior year and said, we're in trouble for graduation. When in reality, if you've never passed FSA, that conversation should have been held in 3rd grade that, you've got to pass this in order to graduate. Or be ESC to have an exemption. So we as a district need to do a better job in educating the kids and making them aware of what they need of where they need to go to, and really encourage kids to really try to shoot for the 4s and 5s, and not just, we need to make a 3 so we can pass and not have to go to summer school, but do the best you can do.
I agree. Now, maybe Mrs. Hill can address this. Now, when do they start these data chats? Do you know?
With the students?
Yes,
The first couple of weeks of school.
I mean, central and middle school or high school?
Elementary.
All the schools. Okay, so starting from 3rd grade or whatever.
Yes, ma'am.
So they have a folder and they've got all the information in there. And
Yes, ma'am. That's part of what we did when we contracted with K-12 LIP.
right.
Was they help us with that data, and they actually provide us with the form that we use to do that data check.
Okay, that's good, because I like you said, the ownership. In other words, I know where I stand, I'd like to be there, and I got to work hard to get there.
It's a very powerful tool
Yeah.
for the kids to know, I need to move up this many points in reading comprehension.
Yeah.
Or I need
Yes.
to move up this many points in I-ready vocabulary to get me to where I'm on grade level, or in phonological awareness, or whatever in that I-ready subcategory it's looking at, to be on grade level. And that's what the push is now, is being on grade level. The kids you have that are on grade level.
Right, and of course now, a highly motivated student will keep their eye on things because they're on the ball. Now, someone that's not as motivated is going to be up to the teacher to address it.
Even I've seen with some of your less motivated, if they're competitive and you set them up and say, now this is what we're going for even your less motivated kids, that sense of competition to try to move up, it's a great way. And I'm willing to bet, and Ms. Hill may could back it up, for your districts that are A districts and schools that are A, I bet there's a lot of conversation in the younger grades concerning where you're at and what you need to do, and what you need to improve on, because if you never tell them what their weakness is, how will they know what they need to work on? Other than in their report card, if you have an F on your report card, then that's not really telling you what you need to work on, if it's not being able to read or not being able to comprehend. So, I mean, the data chats are very powerful for the student and the teacher to get the information across, and to the parent. The parents can see, because it goes home to them and it's spelled out where the weakness is at.
Right. Okay, Ms. Gibson, one other thing that's in this document, you had asked me about, you hear people say you want a 2 or 3 points away. Where does that mean?
Yes.
If you look in here, you will find those tables, that's more than a one-pager.
Okay.
But it will show the cut scores for different, the scale of cut scores.
I think that's what I was thinking about,
Okay,
because
you
in the
can't
past,
do it.
I've heard principals say, oh, we were only 3 points away from a B, and I'm thinking, well, where does that fall into place here?
Okay. And
That's my question.
It's broken down for each level also, and so that's more than one page, but it's in here.
It's in there, yeah,
Yes.
okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms.
Yeah,
Joseph,
you
for all
did
the
get,
information.
you gave us a lot of information, I appreciate it. I
Yes.
know I asked for a lot, but it does get looked
But
at.
this is necessary.
No, yes.
yes.
This is
Yeah.
your Bible of your report card.
Yeah.
Right, this
Yeah.
is last year's results of what happened. Okay, thank you again, Ms. Joseph. The next item, Attorney, do you have anything you would like to say?
Only one thing, Mr. Ginn caught me, and if y'all will recall, you had given the city an easement by the central school to run some water lines to a new development. Apparently, that development is not going to use city water anymore. So you may wish to ask the city to get that easement back and terminate that easement. If you want to do that, then y'all should instruct the superintendent to send Mr. White a letter and say, hey, we'd like for the city to convey that easement back. And then they would need to do it would most likely be a quitclaim deed back to the school board for that strip of property and easement. You don't have to do that, but just something I, want to just put the bug in your ear if you want to do that.
Yeah, we probably need to do that, since the city's not going to be using,
Right.
not going to be using that. That didn't, the plan, they had to change that.
Right. So if that, by consensus, if y'all can ask, is that the consensus? If y'all can ask the
Yes,
superintendent to
definitely.
request?
It'll be on the next board meeting.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Joseph. Thank you, Mr. Reeves.
Yeah.
Any other items?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Williamson?
No, I just want to, by the time we meet again, some of the faculty will be back, and some of the staff, and I just want to wish them a good first day.
No, we're meeting Thursday.
Well, but a regular meeting.
Okay.
Mr. Carroll?
I say it every time, and I understand, I do understand that people leave and they come and they go and all that, but, somehow or another, we need to make our district feasible enough to people that want to stay. On this last one, we lost one big-time veteran teacher. I know of one, I don't know the other one, maybe two. And that's you hate to do it. And I understand people move. I understand that if they want to move and go somewhere else, they can. But maybe we need to start thinking outside the box a little bit, try to keep some of them. So that's I say it every time, and
It's the problem every time.
it bothers me. That's why I say it every time. So that's a bother to me. But that's all I got.
Let's say it's worth repeating, but let me say something. I did a little research. Leon County has more than 500 vacancies The state has 9,500, but Leon County's paying almost $50,000 to their beginning teacher also. They're very close to 50,000. So in other words, you can give them, you can still say, we'll start you at 50. That doesn't mean they're going to flock. There's a lot of reasons why people aren't going into teaching. Money is one of them. And it's a tough job, but I thought to myself, that's a beginning teacher. They're making, what, $48,000, $49,000. So, I mean, but I can understand, we're concerned about it for sure. In spite of the challenge ahead of us, though, I'd like to thank all of the employees for their dedication and hard work. I'd like to congratulate Mr. Finley and his entire staff for their success this year. He's appreciated, and it's hard to say goodbye to someone who's made such a difference. That's all I have to say.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Bell?
I just want to let our staff know that I appreciate you, the ones that are coming in and the ones that are already here, and I'm looking forward to an amazing new school year.
Okay, thank you. I would like to welcome back all the faculty and staff back to the district for 2022-23 school year. Wishing everybody a great year. I too hate to see veteran teachers leave. Two that left tonight I worked with down at the old Madison Primary School, and again, I wish that we could be competitive with the district of where they're going, but financially we just cannot be. I mean, it's as simple as that, and I wish them well. Again, if they're getting more money and it's a substantial amount, and it is, then they should do it. They should better themselves of what they feel they need to do. But again, I hate to see them go, and I wish them well, and I appreciate all they've done for the students within our district. Again, I do appreciate all the work from Ms. Joseph, Ms. Thomas concerning the data. I appreciate the principals getting the information together for the first meeting. I had presented an outline, if you will, for the principals to present to us that night, to where it's basically the same thing that's being said. And I got the information from the Bureau of School Improvement, information that they ask for the schools when schools are under the Bureau of School Improvement. So it's information that some of the schools will be seeing in the fall when the Bureau of School Improvement come. But again, I appreciate all the principals doing that, and I look forward to the August the 1st meeting. We like I said in the paper, we had schools who really did well. We had other places, other schools where there's opportunities for improvement. Again, we need to address what the issues are and move forward. And not only with bringing up the level 1s, we need to bring up the level 3s, 4s, and maintain the 5s. To make the learning gains, if you're a level 4, either you need to do a little bit better this year than you did last year. If you're a 4, if you're a 5, you need to stay a 5, not drop to a 3. So that's real important that we look holistically at all of our students at whatever level they're on to try to push them to the next level. Again, I look forward to the August the 1st meeting. Please review the trend data and any questions you have that night. That'll be a great time to have the question for the principal when they come to present that night. Yes, ma'am.
So one more thing. I've contacted Ms. Rainick, our financial CEO, and she gave me a lot of information about the finances that I think the board needs to know about it.
Okay.
I don't know if we want to have a special workshop or if we want to let Ms. Rainick do a presentation during the meeting, but I think it's necessary for the board members to hear it as well as the public.
We can. I will speak with her and see what she would like to do.
Yeah,
we could do a workshop.
Yeah.
Oh, she's back there.
She's back there.
I'm sorry, I always didn't see you back there. But be thinking about it, Ms.
Yeah.
Rainick, and whatever you would like to do, we will, for sure, we could do it during a meeting or whenever you would like to do it.
Well, I think August 1st now is going to be the
That's gonna be
presentation.
Friday.
It's going to be the
Everything else that was
principals.
in on August
So
1st.
possibly the next meeting, but we'll see. I mean,
Whenever she
yeah.
can come up
But,
with it,
but
I know
I think
she's-
we need to get the information. I mean, it's very positive. It's things that are happening in the district. I mean, things that probably the average person doesn't know about, but they need to be knowing
But-
about, and especially
but-
the school board members.
But in reality, in being real about this, there's some misconceptions out there that we have all this money. Once the ESSER rolls out, the rubber's gonna meet the road, so to speak. And that's the reality of it. People can make all types of promises, oh, we're gonna give people money, but if the money's not there, I don't know where you will get the money. So I look forward to your presentation, Ms. Rayneck, to bring reality to sometimes an unreal situation of people thinking that we can just create money. And remember, on Thursday night at 5, we have our trim, well, we have a special meeting where we're going to do the trim and some personnel.
Hey, Mr. Chair, I will not be here Thursday night.
Okay, well, we will proceed.
Thanks.
We will proceed, be safe, and again, on the 1st, please review the trend data and come with any questions you may have. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I made the motion to adjourn.
Motion made by Ms. Bell, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Gibson. All those in favor, show of hand, please. 5 by Ms. Bishop for adjournment.